Good morning, Mr. Tom. It is due to kick off. Apparently, the previews will be kicking off at 8. They will be doing a Twitchy thing. I will jump over onto Twitch and play it. The volume will be down, but we'll be able to watch it live. And then we've got the live blog. But I figured I'd jump on now and come and say hi. There we go. Hi. I've just literally been awake for like 15 minutes. First sip of coffee in the morning. Who's excited? I'm excited. I'm excited. Really want to see the Space Marine Captain. They did they put like a little silhouette up earlier, and yeah, man, it's the captain looks pretty fucking badass. I'll see if I can find it. I'm currently sat in coffee shop having breakfast. Well, you know, some people like you have to work. I myself do not have to work because it's Saturday and I'm off. I do wish I was at Warhammer Festival. That'd be fucking amazing. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure they put it up onto their Instas. We'll have a little look at Instagram. Warhammer Fest. Warhammer 40k. Warhammer Official. Where is it? I've just seen it. Warhammer Official. Warhammer Official. Did they put it up? No. Yeah, they did. There it is here. So they put this up onto... they put this up about half an hour ago. Obviously, the big thing is going to be 10th edition. The big thing is going to be the Leviathan box set. There is the Space Marine Captain in Terminator armor from the trailer, right in the middle. The other two things, I'm not too sure. I think this one on the left is the Screamer Killer, and the one on the right, I think that's the crazy new Zoanthrope thing, which I've heard about. It's like supposed to be like a Zoanthrope character type thing. Again, we've seen that sort of in the trailer already, but essentially these are the real things that we haven't really seen. But we will see everything in the box today. Everything in the box. I still stand by my predictions. I do think that we'll see the box, and then we're going to see a lot more other things in regards to what's coming for 10th edition. I think we'll maybe get to see some of the new Space Marines that are going to be coming out around about September, October time. I think we'll see a teaser of a multitude of things from different factions in one of those little sort of teasery videos that they do. So it's really, really going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome, boys and girls. But tomorrow's stream is going to be Age of Sigmar at lunchtime, and then I'll probably come offline for about an hour, and then I'll come back on again for 2 o'clock for the Horus Heresy Old World stream. That's going to be really interesting because like this is the first time they're previewing Old World tomorrow, and then there'll be no DP. No DP Sundays tomorrow night because I'm essentially streaming 3 times this weekend. Love my coffee, getting me all wakey. But yeah, that's coming up today. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool. They haven't put anything up for Warhammer yet. They haven't even turned the Warhammer stream on yet. But we'll keep an eye out on that. I'm a little bit early, a little bit. My phone's popping off. I'm getting new followers on Instagram. Everyone who's followed me on Instagram, thank you very much. It's I'm almost at 2,000 followers on Instagram now. It's getting good. But yeah, it's exciting, fun times today. That post that I aimed at Discourse Miniatures, that post has gone nuts. There's like nearly 500 likes on that post. You know, I'm now now the Warhammer fact checker. When Discourse speaks and makes a video, I watch it and I fact check the shit out of her. Because she just talks utter bollocks. Most toxic content creator in Warhammer. Just so toxic. Just so toxic. I'm going to turn this light on. No, I'm not. It's a bit bright. It's a very weird day out there today. It's like one of those days it's just overcast but doesn't really know what it wants to do. But I did do another test miniature for the Starhawks last night, and it's red and black. I'm going to be finishing it off, and then I'm going to be posting it up on Instagram, along with a couple of the others, because I'm kind of sort of just throwing some ideas out there now. It's going to be good. Also spent like 2 hours yesterday base coating Rhinox hide on all of the trim on the Light of Eltharion. Ugh. And I don't know if you can see it, but I also built my shrine for my Lumineth. So that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to painting that. Are we on yet? Come on, Warhammer. Turn your stream on. But they haven't got the stream on yet. But we've got this. They do have some pictures of it though. So 8 o'clock, Warhammer Fest is a go. The first fans are streaming through the door. Tell us what you're most looking forward to seeing. So they've been going in there now for about 30 minutes. Which I'm surprised actually that there's nothing being revealed. Unless they're closing off the reveal area. Because there's nothing on Facebook. Like normally, like when they come through the door, there's photos getting taken already and posted up, but there's nothing. So I presume that they're not letting anybody into the sort of preview hall until 8 o'clock, where in 20 minutes, because there's nothing on Facebook, like nothing, which is surprising. Even that, or there's nobody there, which I find highly unlikely. This was this event sold out really quickly, but there's the arena, the tournament area for the various tournaments that will be taking place over the weekend. And this is the putting in the final touches. Now people turn around and said that the live stream is actually live from Warhammer Fest. There's an auditorium, and if you looked at the map, a lot of people got confused because they weren't too sure if the live stream was actually going to be like from Warhammer World or if it was going to be from Manchester. But there is an auditorium in the top of the map. It's all greyed out, but it is there. And that's apparently where the live stream is going to be. So I would imagine right now the room is filling up. Are you streaming the event? Oh, right I am. As soon as they go turn their Twitch on, I will jump over and turn their Twitch channel on, but they're not on there yet. But I am. I'm a little bit early. I was meant to sort of turn the stream on about 10 to, but I got up, made a coffee, potted around, and thought, you know what? Let's jump on now and soak up the hype. And I am hyped. This is going to be a good stream today. What are you looking most forward to seeing? What are you looking forward to? You can also see this. Look, this is the thing that they threw up. The two new Tyranids and the Space Marine Captain in Terminator armor. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a big day. It's gonna be a big stream today, and tomorrow's gonna be ultra exciting as well, because apparently tomorrow we will see either a Orc Warclans reveal for a new book for them, or it's going to be a separate Cruel Boys book with some new Cruel Boys stuff. Apparently is getting revealed tomorrow for Age of Sigmar. I'm pretty sure that the stuff for Stormcast Eternal's coming, but apparently that stuff that I was told about is for Warcry, which will be getting shown later on today, which no one really cares. But apparently the big AOS reveal, along with lots of City of Sigmar, is going to be something for the Oruks and the Cruel Boys. I'd heard little bits about it, but they pretty much confirmed that yesterday when they put up their 2 days to go picture, and it was an orc. But it had a lot of people thought it was for 40k, but it has 2 of the realm symbols on the picture, which means it's for Age of Sigmar. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be pretty cool for Age of Sigmar fans. Tomorrow afternoon is going to be absolutely mind-blowing because we're actually going to see Old World. Now, it's a part of a Horus Heresy stream and an Old World stream. So it's obviously going to be... these streams normally last for about an hour. So I would imagine that half of it is going to be Horus Heresy. And that means we're not going to see much Horus Heresy stuff. And the other half is going to be for the Old World, which means we're not going to see much Old World stuff, but we will get to see it. Now, there is a crazy conspiracy, and I'll just go and get some tinfoil for my head, but apparently the reason why they have shown so much of the 10th edition launch box already and not leaving it solely for Warhammer Fest is because we're going to see the launch box for Warhammer Old World tomorrow. Now that is the conspiracy theory. That is the theory of why, because this is unprecedented. Games Workshop don't normally do this. Like I was genuinely expecting to be teased at Adapticon. You know, the cinematic, maybe a piece of artwork or something, a little bit of a teaser saying 10th edition is coming, let me fondle your balls. And then the big vanilla strokes final outcome shot here today at Warhammer Fest. But no, it's instead they kind of literally told us at Adapticon, showed us a Tyranid, showed us a Terminator, and then from then on it has been nothing but reveals for 10th edition and the box set, which means they don't really have too much to show us for 10th edition, or do they? But then what else is going to be the big thing at Warhammer Fest? I think that big thing at Warhammer Fest is going to be Warhammer the Old World, because they've been working on this for some time, and they've been quite quiet about Old World for quite a long time. We get the odd post and a map with symbols on it, but they've not really delved into it too much. And I think tomorrow they're lifting the lid, and I think this is where we really start to see exactly what we're going to be getting. There's a lot of rumours around Old World right now about what exactly they're going to do. There's people saying that there's going to be a brand new starter set with Tomb Kings and Bretonnians. I am in the firm camp that is going to happen. There's rumours that there is going to be a generic Empire box with just the Empire, and you can kind of, a bit like the Horus Heresy, but with lots of Empire. Not everybody wants to play Empire. I've heard that the old starter sets, likes of the ones with the dwarfs and the goblins, and the ones with the high elf versus the Skaven, are going to be re-released. Now, if that is true, I'm doing a high elf army, baby. Like, I am buying 2 of those boxes, selling the Skaven, and jumping straight into high elves. I had a high elf army in 8th edition that I was just getting going before they canned it. So I'm going back to the high elves, babes. Like, I want 2 blocks of 30 Hoeth swordmasters in the middle that are always striking first and brutally butchering every fucker. That's, yes. An Altharion on an eagle. It's going to be good. But still not there. Still haven't turned that on yet. But yeah, it's gonna be fun times, fun times. So it's gonna be an interesting stream tomorrow. Yes, that's right. I'm drinking out of my Black Templar mug. I am gonna be ordering some new merch from the merch store. Gonna get myself a Lumineth mug and a Corn World Eaters mug. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, so, oh yes, Pointy's getting a little bit of a facelift soon. I will have a show you now. Pointy's getting a bit of a facelift. Can I show you this? can show you this. Yeah. Alright, I'll put this up. Yeah, so Pointy is getting a bit of a facelift. Reveal right here for Pointy Paints. Right now. Reveal right now. It's not really getting a facelift. He's kind of getting an extra alter ego. So yeah. Reveal right now. Pointy. The new Pointy. The new Pointy head. It's going to look cool. So there you go. There's a reveal just for you people. That's what's happening with Pointy. There are some amazing entries today for Golden Demon. This guy's Primalist is just, yeah, this is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So clean, so, yeah, I'm not too sure if he is a heavy metal painter, you know. But it really is nice. Really nice. There's a lot of pictures getting revealed today of their Golden Demon entries. That's really nice. Like, I mean, like, it always like impresses me the level of detail people can get on Lord of the Rings miniatures, because they're fucking tiny. Absolutely tiny. Absolutely tiny. Still not on there yet. Oh, there's all the Golden Demon winners and stuff. Ooh. So there you go, that's the stage in Manchester. That's where the live stream is going to be done from. And there's War Hipster, the man, the legend, that seems to get everything a week early and then literally just smashes it out the park before anything else. It's impressive. That's quite nice. That's very nice. Some really nice OSL on that. So yeah, so it'll be cool. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Nothing. Oh, 8:30. Ooh, yeah. So 8:30. The Warcom team will be out and about in the arena all day, chatting to fans. It's a bit. Hopefully, if there's Martin Morrow there, please someone give him a kick. One group at the front of the queue, travelling to Manchester from Norfolk and Guildford, and joining the queue at 6:20 this morning. Over at the auditorium, people are already waiting for the new 40k preview. Connor from Manchester is looking forward to seeing new Terminators. He's already seen them. And we'll be kish bashing Necromunda in the hobby challenge later on. Julia from Newcastle. Why, aye, man. I wonder if it's Newcastle Geordieland or proper Newcastle in Northern Ireland. Probably Geordieland. He's hoping to see some greenskins. That'll be tomorrow. And David from Ireland is with his son Campbell. I wonder if we know Dave. Do we know Dave? The community here in Ireland is very small. I wonder if we know Dave, who really wants to see more Space Marines. Well, he's definitely going to be seeing more Space Marines. There's also a group from Austria who are going to play Kill Team and are excited to see more Old World. Ooh. It's almost like they've got somebody walking around talking to people. Right, it's 10 minutes to go and they haven't turned anything on yet. Running out of coffee. How's your coffee in the coffee shop, Tom? Should have done some painting. Good Lord. Yeah, there's still nothing, no reveals or anything yet turned up on Facebook. So I need to up my Instagram game. I actually need to sort out my streaming area. I need to sort this area up. I mean, looking at disc plates. Apparently disc plates do have Warhammer 40k disc plates. Now, they're not official. They seem to be someone else's artwork, like fan artwork, but they've turned, some of them are quite nice. So I might get one of them for this wall here and maybe behind me. And some pink, I need some pink LEDs because you can't be a true streamer without pink LEDs. Still not there. I still haven't turned it on. Still haven't turned it on. Now on Twitch, you're not allowed to live stream other people's live streams without actually turning off the noise. But on YouTube, apparently you can, because YouTube don't really care. They call it reactionary content, apparently. But I will turn the volume down a little bit, so we're not overly listening to them whine on, because they will talk a lot. And they'll probably hear the crowd as well. Which is, yeah. Exciting times. Painted a rhino yesterday. T-minus 8 minutes. Good morning, Molly. How are you? Do you have coffee? Do you have coffee in a Black Templar mug? What are you most looking forward to seeing today? What are you excited about? What is going to get you to go, woo, have a big sort of excitable scream? What is it? I was watching Valrak's stream, like, and every 5 minutes it's like, give me a membership. Ooh, for me, I've already seen what's in the box, so I'm not massively excited about that. What I'm excited about is what they show after they show the launch box. I want to see Terminators. We've already seen the Terminators, unfortunately. Yeah, we've already seen them. They've shown them already. There are a unit of veterans in there, so they're going to be kind of cool. The Terminator Captain is a pretty impressive looking model, so you've not seen him yet, but you'll definitely see him today. And there's like a unit of Flamers. If you remember the Black Templar box, the multi-part kits will come out in a couple of months. So everything in this box is basically easy build. So it's all monopose, easy build, typical standard launch box for Games Workshop. The multi-part kits will come later down the line. So don't expect the multi-part kits till around about August, September. 2 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Whereabouts are you? Because it's like about 9 o'clock here in Northern Ireland. Canada. I like Canada. I've been to Canada. I was in Alberta. Well, Wainwright in Alberta. Not too far outside Edmonton. It's good 6 weeks working with the Canadian military in apparently what was meant to be a summer exercise, but it was Baltic. Like, we were the last battalion to go through the training before the winter training started. So it was summer training, and I think it was like minus 20 at night time. Oh, it was rough. It was rough. We had a cadet. Well, it's not sort of a cadet. He was sort of like a wannabe officer, and they kind of have like a work placement where they send them to a battalion of their choice before they go to Sandhurst to learn to be an officer. And we had him. And Mr. Curry, as he was called then, now he's Major Curry. I think he's actually a little bit higher than that. I think he stayed in and climbed the ranks a little bit. He's probably Lieutenant Colonel by now. And his Bergen had gone missing. And I woke up for the last stint on Stag. Well, yeah, to go on the Stag. And he was laid in the fetal position in sort of like a little dip in the ground with all of his warm kit on, literally disco dancing in the ground. Couldn't speak properly. He was blue, like really going down badly with exposure. And it was like, oh my God. So got my sleeping bag back out, put him in it, made him a brew, went over and told the platoon sergeant that, you know, the potential new platoon commander officer is nearly dead. We might want to keep him warm. No one knows where his Bergen is. And the poor bastard, it dropped to something like -17 that night. And he had no warm gear other than like his jacket and like extra layers. That's it. That's all he had. And the rest of us are all in our sleeping bags, loving life, living in our bouncy bombs. It was all good. Come on, Warhammer, turn your stream on. I wouldn't be surprised if the live stream doesn't work. I enjoy Canada. It was very good. The Canadian Army are pretty cool as well. Their cookhouse, holy crap! We were like, I must have put weight on. I've never been on exercise before and put weight on, but we put weight on. Like, their cookhouse was insane. They had like a bread section. They had like a dessert section. They had like a cold food section. They had like a hot plate. Then they had like ice creams, and they had all of this like soda machine in the middle. It was like proper walking into a restaurant. And then they had like a milkshake machine. Like, seriously, the British Army, it's like school dinners. It was like horrible. You know, the British Army, you walk in, you basically get like 2 choices of hot food, and then, you know, a couple of desserts, and you can have some fruit. And your drinks are, you know, you have a brew, orange squash, which is always too strong because they put too much orange in there and not enough water. And then like a strawberry one or a fruit one. That was it. And that's what you lived on. You basically lived on your 5,000 calorie fry up in the morning. But yeah, food in the army is not great. That's why we went to McDonald's. Still not on. Come on, Warhammer. Someone turn it on. I would laugh if this doesn't work. This live stream doesn't work. But either way, the blog is up and we'll go from that. Ooh, look at that! Look at that! Look at the big Terminator! It's almost like Terminators are the main thing for the edition. That is cool as fuck. Although, I'm really not impressed with the highlighting here. Like, you know, the highlighting is a little bit lax. You know, the shading is a little bit too dark. It's gone a little bit too dark into the black. Should be more into the Caliban, the Cantor blue. But, yeah, and they've missed a bit. It's not done there. But it's very good. It's very cool. It's a very cool looking thing. Hopefully that'll stay at Warhammer Fest, that Warhammer World. So, yeah. Yeah. So take 45. Speaking of Space Marines, one of the first things you'll see when you're walking in Manchester Centre is a giant 11-foot tall, full-size, life-size Terminator. So apparently Terminators are 11 feet tall. It's pretty baller. It's pretty baller. Still nothing there. What? We should actually be able to watch it there, to be fair. It's 9 o'clock, peeps. Where's the reveal show? Told you. It's not going to work. There'll be a technical issue. Because they're not live. Visit Warhammer. See, it's not live. They are not live today. It's 9 o'clock. Where's the first reveal? Still nothing coming up yet. Wouldn't be surprised this Games Workshop it's not going to work. Come on, people. Press the online button. Here we go. They're on. We're in. We're in. Can hear the crowd. Can hear that crowd. I'll turn this on in the background. Here we go. I'll have to keep that there. As always, solid effort from Games Workshop. Yes, it is. Solid effort from Games Workshop. So we can hear the crowd from the auditorium. Oh, I'm fucking excited. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. Oh, I personally, I am actually excited. Yeah, I am. Very excited. I do love preview days. A lot of the times you get this hype, and you get so excited for it, and then like it happens, and you're like, "Is that it? Is that it? Is that all you're showing us?" Well, that can't be it. But this is an hour long, about 45 minutes. Normally, here they are. We can't hear you, Adam. Turn your microphone on, your knob. There, we can hear you now.
I think we're live.
Hey, here we go. Here we go.
Amazing.
How's the volume, peeps? Can you hear it all properly?
And welcome to Warhammer Fest 2023. We are so glad you can all be with us today.
Thank you for joining me to joining them.
With 800 Warhammer fans, this is really quite a sight to see. And then the internet is piling as fast as they can into the Twitch stream on twitch.tv/Warhammer. So whichever medium you are joining us with, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. Just to introduce us, there is us. So my name is Eddie. I'm joined today by Adam, and we have some pretty cool Warhammer 40,000 stuff to share with all of you in the room and watching along on Twitch at home.
It is going to be incredible. I'm not sure I was put on the right Primark, if I'm honest. But,
Louder.
It was the only one available at the time.
That's as loud as I can get that. I'll turn it up on this end.
I think so.
yeah, there we go. Here's how it's going to work today. It's going to work a bit like they always do, which is we're going to show you for the next maybe hour or so some awesome Warhammer stuff, some of which you've never seen, I would hope. And it's going to be mega.
Oh, we could have pissed all over their birthday party. We could have literally leaked photos already.
Basically, it makes my brain spin. But literally, the numbers are going up. But there's 17,000 people in the Twitch chat right now. Maybe give us a shout from where you are. We've had it here in the crowd already. We've had people travel from as far as Mexico.
I leaked the lion.
Australia to be with us here today.
The lion box. The lion guard.
Very, very cool. Very exciting.
It was very funny.
Too stuck in to this, Adam. Have you been following all the news about the new edition?
I have. To be honest, I'm beside myself with excitement. I'm not sure. Like, this is genuine. You know, sometimes you feel like you're talking to the universe. I'm going to talk with like Adam for a second. Like, it has never been a more exciting time to be a Dark Angels collectible right now.
You have been spoiled.
I remember in 1995 or so sitting in my friend Alex's room reading Angels of Death with him for the first time.
Oh, let's talk in, because like it's an hour long. So if you took out the talking, yes, that was me. The lion guard box was me. Yes, it was me. Like, I'm never going to get sent anything from Games Workshop, regardless of how big I get, so I don't really care. So if I get previews, normally I will reveal them. I also was the one that leaked Angron as well. The Angron photos, original photos, was leaked by me. I leaked them into a WhatsApp group and let it go viral. They annoy me sometimes with the way they piss about. And they're never going to support me, so it doesn't matter.
Curious by like a noise in the room sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which one people are most excited about. So could I get a cheer in the room if you're most excited about Space Marines?
Yay! I'm excited for Space Marines.
Tyranids?
No. I can't paint Tyranids. I've tried painting Tyranids. They're very different to paint.
Okay, so,
It's all organic, and it's a very different skill set.
Have a look at our first video, in which we will be looking at the new launch box for
Leviathan
the edition of Warhammer 40,000. So, have a look.
Here we go, people. "13 sprues. Told you it was called Leviathan. It's almost like we've seen this before. There's the captain. So they're all easy fit. His captain's nice.
Cool. I've got one! I've got one! Here it is. Soul mine!
So was my prediction right about Leviathan?
This is really quite heavy, I'm not going to lie.
So Beast, this is Leviathan. So this is the launch box for the new edition of Warhammer 40,000.
Pretty good.
And in a surprise to everybody, inside the box contains Space Marines and Tyranids.
Who saw that coming?
Out of nowhere. So it is a chunky box. It is at least as large as the previous edition of Warhammer 40,000. There's
Who's
one
getting
in
it?
there, there's about 5
I wasn't planning on getting it,
25
but I think I will.
Tyrannids, rulebook, all sorts of
Because
stuff.
it'll be good
We'll
painting
use
content, right?
As we go through,
Yeah,
some
you
of the
know.
slides. But I think the first thing we're going to take
24th of June here in the UK is apparently when it comes out, with a 2-week pre-order. So expect pre-order some early part of June. That is nice. That's the crazy thing. It's pretty cool looking Ghibli. Oh yeah, I could paint that. I could end up starting a Tyrannid army here. Cool. The new Rippers. It's nice that the Tyrannids are getting like a refresh. And there's a lot of Tyrannids to see as well. There's like a whole load more coming after this. Loads more coming. The new Lictors. The new Lictors are nice. The Prime. And the Screamer Killer. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Very cool. So everyone who's played in 2nd edition will know who he is. It's a good start. It's a good start for any future Tyrannid army. It could be fun to paint.
There we go.
I could ask myself, how would we know facing this way when the video was finished? And that reaction kind of helped. So thank you, everyone. What an incredible range of awesome new Tyrannid models. Eddie, where do we start?
Yeah, so we'll go through some of the models in the box. Some of them we have seen before as we've kind of built up to this release. Some of them are brand new on show today. So we start off with the Tyrannid Prime, who is the kind of de facto leader of the Tyrannids. This is a model we saw online, I think last week. And this is a flying Tyrannid warrior alpha beast, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. We're familiar with the concept of, synapse creatures that are flying Tyrannid warriors, and you see him...
There's rumours that there's a new Swarm Lord coming.
Kind of the enforcer of the set.
Yeah.
Like, Tyrannids are basically getting what happened with Necrons last edition, so they're getting like a full range refresh with some new stuff.
Model. He towers over any of the things in the Space Marine side of the set, except for one. And is going to be a really dominating centerpiece in your collection.
Yeah, the new Dreadnought is cool. It's like a proper old school looking Dreadnought, but it's a Redemptor.
Very flying based Tyrannid army, isn't it?
Yeah,
But let's move on, because we've seen that guy before.
Go on then.
Another unit we have seen before, Von Ryan's Leapers. This is a pack hunting breed of Lictor type creature, and they hunt in packs basically. They can deep strike in games, they can pounce out, kill enemy characters and units and grab objectives and that sort of stuff. But the models are just really cool. They're kind of like a cross between sort of mantis shrimp and praying mantis, sort of weird.
They've definitely got a strong Lictor element to them. Smaller probably in stature than Lictors, it's fair to say. 40mm bases for that person on Twitch who always asks.
He really cares.
Yeah, these guys are going to fill that space in your force for scouting and...
I wonder if you could do the 84 Gene Stealer Broodlord list again with 3 Lictors from 4th edition.
This is a Psychophage, so this is a Tyrannid Psycho-eating feeder beast, basically. So
nice.
This is a brand new thing. We haven't seen these before. This is a variation for the new Tyrannic War, and a little bit like some of the other Tyrannic creatures we've seen before. It consumes lots of biomass, but this has a special preference or a special particular taste for psychic creatures. So if you've got things like librarians, or you're up against like Thousand Suns or something, this guy's going to have a field day chowing down on those. And he gets special rules to make him more deadly against psychic enemies and that sort of thing.
He's also capable of something called a psychosciastic torrent.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Bonus points if you can say that after a long day of playing Warhammer. My favourite thing here is that it is literally in the process of devouring some poor Space Marine.
I think that's actually like Librarian Blue. That's
yes.
my headcanon.
Yeah, or an entire chapter.
Could be.
I love it. And yeah, seriously creepy. It's got this huge feeder tendrils on its face.
Does look cool.
If you have a really close look, you can see all like these
good. Not going to
We've got
be...
a new,
That painting, that would be a bit fun.
There we go. This is the Barb Gaunt. So this is a new artillery beast for Tyranids. It's not a biovore. It is a new kind of creature. So you have the Gaunt at the bottom, and you've got this kind of parasitic gun beast that's attached to the back of it, and it effectively fires suppressing artillery rounds at the enemy. So quite short range for Tyranid artillery, and it's more about suppressing enemy formations than...
Not biovores. So are they updating the biovores, maybe? Because the biovores are not plastic. They're fine cast as far as I'm aware.
A couple of fun things to note on it. The weapon on the back is a biocannon. It's going to be a bio something after all. But the weapon is a symbiotic creature, which is clinging to the back. So there is 2 Tyranid forms on that one model. And so one's in charge of the lumbering round and getting in the right place, and the other's in charge of firing its biocannon at the enemy, I guess. 40 mil bases again. So these are bigger than your average Gaunt, is fair to say, and perfect for being that within the artillery that the pipeline sometimes needs.
I quite like it's the first Tyranid I think we've seen that's only got 3 feet on the ground. So it's got one of its kind of side arms is kind of stuck into the side of the...
There's something very creepy about the way...
It's like lopsided. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, there's something very creepy about the way that Tyranids interface with their weapons.
Yeah, it's not very wholesome. Then we have another new type of Gaunt. These are Neurogaunts. This is a slightly smaller breed of Gaunt, smaller than Termagants and Hormagaunts, and they are effectively completely subservient to the will of their synapse creature that they defend. So you have a bunch of these guys watching your big synapse creatures, and they just throw themselves in front of bullets. They become more powerful
Meat
when
shield.
they're within synapse range. Otherwise, they are kind of blind and leaderless.
So, yeah, if you look at the squad, there's 11 of these, and the one in the middle, I believe, is the... got to get the name right. So, one of them is a node beast who leads the Neurogaunts. So, I mean, not a squad leader in any conventional sense, but the one most capable of taking orders from the hive mind and making sure that they sort of coordinate with the synapse.
So essentially a meat shield, drones, basically.
Yeah. And what kind of creature will they be looking after? It will be one of these. So this
is impressive.
This is a Neuro Tyrant. So
that reaction was so
good.
cool.
It's good. So we saw this guy in the cinematic trailer for the new edition of Warhammer 40,000. This is an alternate army leader, basically. If you'd rather go Psyker heavy rather than combat heavy, instead of a Hive Tyrant, you can have one of these at the head of your force. And it is just an entirely psychic creature that is very, very in tune with the shadow of the warp. So as well as having some pretty...
That's going to be a really
psychic
cool
powers,
thing to paint.
it can also bolster the shadow
I like
of
the
warp,
blue
which is
brain.
a board-wide rule for Tyranids in the new edition of Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, a thing to note is the Tyranid creature, however we should refer to an alien horror from another dimension, it's flanked by neuroloids, which kind of like synaptic relays for it.
Like signal boosters for your Wi-Fi.
I mean, like...
So as we know that 10th edition, you're going to be able to join things to units. I wonder if that is going to be able to join a unit as zoanthropes.
I don't know what you're referring to.
I just saying. This guy appears to have people carrying his psychic brain power for it.
Yeah, if you need more brain, you can just have a couple of spare brains following around.
Yeah, frankly, if you want to literally blow people apart with mind bullets, this is the way.
Good to know. One thing we noted about this guy, which I thought was quite cool, it looks quite a lot like, those of you who remember the very, very, very early Warhammer 40,000 Zoanthrope. It's got the same head.
I remember when that first guy released.
Yeah, I thought that was the best model ever when it came out.
Games Workshop, targeting nostalgia.
The spiked crown that sort of comes
Very
all around
2023.
There's some really lovely sort of shared design language here. The Neurotyrant is part of the Hive Tyrant, same genus as the Hive Tyrant, so this is sort of very much leader beast. But I love it.
And then probably the star of the Tyranid half of the Leviathan box, we have the Screamer Killer, which is an enormous great version of the Carnifex genus. This is not replacing the Carnifex. You can still put Carnifex in your army. This is a different, bigger, bruiser.
I wonder if that is going to have an alternated head with an eye missing and have a profile for one eye.
Or it can shoot plasma out of its face. And when it does that, it makes a big scream, which is where it gets its name.
Out of its face, a bioplasmic scream, no less. I remember, like, I mean, who here? Come on, I would like a brief poll. Who here remembers the original Screamer Killer releasing?
Yeah.
It used to fire a plasma pistol. That was the way the rules were rationalised, right? Yeah, I remember.
There he is on the screen.
Ah, well, there we go. You can see the shared heritage, although I'd like to think that we've come a little way since then. Oh man, that's nostalgic.
They've got to have the option there to change their face
One
to
last thing
bring
as well,
one eye.
Of course, very important.
Everybody's most
Bring one eye
important
back.
thing in the whole set.
You also get some rippers. So the last version of rippers came kind of sprawled across the rest of the Tyranid range, but mostly you got them in the Termagant box. The new Termagant sprue also has rippers on it, so if you get some Termagants, they still come with rippers. And they look very similar to the current ones, so you can happily mix them in with any existing rippers you already have. There we go.
I actually struggled to tell the difference. I've got quite a few rippers forms and was staring at these for a while. They're going to match beautifully with your existing Tyranid armies.
Get the Marines out.
They will soon.
They will soon.
Yeah. And one of the things about this box, the Leviathan box, is that the two halves of it, if you take some of the models from the Tyranid side and some of the models from the Space Marine side, you can make them both into functioning combat patrols for the new edition as well. So on the screen right now, that is the combat patrol for Tyranids in the new edition of Warhammer 40,000, and you get it in this box. There we go. Right. Shall we have a look at some Space Marine?
Show us the other stuff.
A crusade to cleanse the stars. Our forces engage the remnants of Leviathan. Soon, their foulness will be but a memory.
I like him. I like that Terminator captain. There's the Flamey boys. The Dreadnought is so cool. There's the veterans. Stern Guard are back, baby. The Apothecary in Gravis armor. I like that Apothecary. Nice. Nice.
You really have to give like kudos to the Warhammer design team that have put all this amazing effort into these models, and also to the photography gang in the Warhammer TV team that made them look so dope in the videos.
They look very cool, don't they?
Just
I like him. I think he looks pretty cool.
Begin with this.
Let's start with our captain. Start with the start with him. We'll start with the captain in Terminator armor. So, so Terminator captain. We knew we had a squad of Terminators coming. We knew we needed someone to lead
I'm
them.
so excited for the
We know
potential
that.
of
Well, there's a lot to say
existing
about that.
characters in
Firstly, we've
Terminator
got
armor
the
getting
Warhammer,
updated
CEO,
models.
the Metal team have painted this in
Lysander
Marines. You can paint yours in the
being
colours
a prime
of the
example.
chapter that you wanted. The details that are on there are
Logan Grimnar,
are managed by the paint job.
Belial,
On more which later.
all-
this is in the colours of Severus Agnes.
all characters that will be getting updated to Terminator with the new
And
Terminator.
it's just incredible, right? The work that's gone into upgrading.
And we're only 20 minutes in.
It's exactly the same.
And this is meant to be on for about an hour.
And always love.
So,
Just,
ooh,
like,
what's
refined,
next?
Over years, and it just looks incredible. He's clutching a storm bolter. He's got this awesome relic power sword. What's not to love?
Yeah, it's quite an imposing model as well because the new Terminators stand a little bit taller than the old Terminators, and this guy's also got a bit of a scenic base. So he's standing on.
I
the
won't
head
be
of
using
a
that
Space
base.
Screamer killer.
I'll be changing my base out.
Done a good morning's work.
Yeah, but because of the size of the base and the size of the new Terminators, you can put this guy next to something like Abaddon, and it doesn't look like he's wildly outmatched. Like he might be wildly outmatched, but he doesn't look like he is. That's
Yeah,
the point.
absolutely. He's a big boy and he looks awesome. And as I say, if you are I don't know, let's say you like other chapters of Space Marines that also like Terminator armor, just saying, you could paint him bone and that'd be perfectly fine.
Then we've got a new squad in Tactics armor. This is the Infernus squad.
All the flamers, all the time.
This is a whole squad of Primaris.
Salamanders are gonna love
with
them.
Flamethrowers, basically. So if you're thinking that you're going to go up against lots of gaunts for some reason, 10 flamers will do a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen this weapon type appear for the first time with the Black Templar release that happened, and I'm sort of in a time, what was that, last year? I want to say
2 years, I think.
So living in a time.
Maybe 1 year.
And yeah, so we've seen pyroblasters before. We've never seen them in this volume, I think it's fair to say. And when you are purging terrible Xenos filth from your planet, there might be nothing better.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys will sit very happily alongside things like your intercessors and assault intercessors and fill a similar sort of role. But if you think that rather than long-range bolt rifle or close combat, you just want something to clear hordes.
I really wish they would stop doing the whole new weapon, new squad. I'd like maybe like a tactical support squad for Primaris Marines, where you basically choose to either have the plasma, melter, or flamer, and kind of have it like that rather than have multiple different squads.
We have a new unit of Stern Guard.
They're
veterans.
pretty cool.
So there's some quite cool stuff about this kit to note. So they are in Primaris scale, certainly. One thing you'll notice is that some of the models in this unit, the warriors have started to take bits of relic war gear and incorporate them into their suits. So if you look at the top left,
Mark 7 helmet.
I think Mark 7 helmet on him as well, and I think there's a couple of shoulder pads in there that look maybe a little bit.
They would fit really nicely into a Black Templar army.
I could wax lyrical about Stern Guard. One, because they're one of my favourite units, and two, because these do such an amazing job of sort of bringing them.
So looking at how Games Workshop are doing this, Stern Guard are essentially the shooty version of a Blade Guard, and Blade Guard are probably the replacement of Vanguard veterans.
Weapons, you've got the one with that sort of very portable-looking heavy bolter, and this is a chance to sort of really see that bridge maybe coming between the Primaris army who's been rushed out as part of the Indomitus Crusade and how it's bedding in with chapters.
Yeah, they've started to take bits of relics and older bits of armour and mix in tabards and stuff, and these are starting to feel very like veteran Space Marine, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think people are going to really enjoy putting their own stamp on this unit within their collection. I know I love putting veterans in my Dark Angels army. These are just be another veteran squad for me, and there's something very cool about it. All the tilting plate for the sergeant, that gives you a chance to have unique heraldry. Yeah, I could run through what like the various options and things they have. We're talking about all the combi weapons. I don't really know how much further I should go. But it's worth adding, they are single pose in this set.
Yep.
So if you are like me and you just like being able to build things fairly quickly, that's no bad.
Cool, let's have a look at the next thing. And we have a new Apothecary, Apothecary Biologist. This is an Apothecary in Gravis armor. We haven't seen one of those before. And this guy's a little bit different from the Apothecaries we've seen previously in Space Marine armies, is in that he isn't necessarily going to be healing your Space Marine troops. He's got a container there to take biological samples of enemies and stuff. So if he's up against Tyranids in this set, he might be trying to get like material or data from synapse creatures or something like that, to capture some like synapse nodes, that sort of thing. But what he does when you put him into your units is, because he's got that expert knowledge, he can give them bonuses and buffs. So this is buffing your own units rather than healing your units for this particular version of the Apothecary.
Yeah, you're going to be able to attach him to units of Gravis armoured troops so that he can do his best thing. So we're talking like aggressors, eradicators, heavy intercessors, at which point his like extra knowledge that he's gleaned from the corpses of the dead will be super useful. And an Apothecary in Gravis armour just looks so good.
I think he's going to Blood Angel up quite nicely, this guy. They like Apothecaries.
Yeah, absolutely. He's armed with an Absolver bolt pistol, so he can still do the Emperor's Mercy should it be required.
Show his dreadnought!
Really, he's there to make sure that your troops have all the buffs they need.
And 40k's cutest chainsaw.
The little one on his shoulder.
Right, let's have a look at probably the centerpiece kit then of the Space Marine.
There he is.
Which
I
is
love the
this guy,
silhouette of it.
The Ballistus Dreadnought.
So
this
cool.
Is, a reinvention of a classic kind of Dreadnought style. We've seen with the Redemptor Dreadnought and then with the Brutalis Dreadnought the other two options, the kind of tactically flexible, the combaty one, and this is the other end.
The
of the spectrum.
rumour is that this
all
is
about long-range shooting Dreadnought. So you've got twin las cannons, missile launchers, and loads of bolters on there as well. So this guy sits at the back of your army, supporting your long-range troops and taking out enemy heavy armor and monsters. Basically,
this is apparently going to spell the end of the classic dreadnought in the range. Apparently, those classic-looking dreadnoughts will be moving to legends, along with things like land speeders and some of the other troops. So they are going to slowly
It's
start
everything.
phasing
The
out
guns
the
are a
firstborn
ballistus, missile
original
launcher,
units
ballistus
now.
glass cannon. Also has twin storm bolters. This thing is.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's going to kick out quite a lot of firepower. And a reinvention as well of kind of the classic little boxy dreadnought. So there he is, next to his granddad.
Never talk to my son like that again.
Something like that. But like a really, really nice kind of classic style of dreadnought that's it's nice to see make its way into the new edition with a reinvention as well. So yeah, I think it looks great.
I also hear, and this is, we'll need to confirm it close to time, but I understand that as you build it, there are layers of detail inside that once you cover them up, you'll never see again. But if you are like true to the cause, you'll paint those before you glue on the outside.
Yes.
You're crazy. Yeah. All right. Okay, so that's the whole box. That's all the miniatures all together. So there you go. Get a sense of what you get. So loads of Space Marines, even more Tyranids. It's a very
No Space Marine combat patrol out of this.
You've got 4 significantly like centerpiece kits in that box.
So before we go on, which thing out of the miniatures in this set are you most excited about?
What did you all like, people?
Really?
What was your most favourite part about the box?
I think when it came out, I remember the Screamer Killer, not a little bit before my time, but it was in all the White Dwarfs and things when I was a kid. And
That's the picture I was originally sent.
Because it was big and metal and I couldn't afford it.
It's like,
It does
oh my
feel
god!
like a real
For me,
turn
my
of-
highlight of that box is the Screamer Killer. I think that model is
And
really,
you've
really
sort of been
impressive.
able to make them with the cards,
But I
actually seeing
really
it
like the
properly
veterans as well.
Reinvented is very cool.
The Terminators are cool,
On the Space
but
Marine side,
the
I
Terminators
think
are
we've
easy
seen it before,
build.
but I really like
There's
the
a
Librarian.
multi-part kit coming.
He is cool. I am, Space Marine wise, I'm absolutely torn between either the new Terminators, which are everything I could have hoped for and more.
Yeah, new Terminators are just...
And these
Terminators are going to be really good. For my World Eaters, I'm buying another 2
regular
boxes
Battlefield
to have
guys,
3 units of Terminators, because I've got a feeling
really
Terminators are going to be the unit
Ravenwing.
for Marine power armoured unit armies.
Join the inner circle.
The Stern Guard were
yeah,
pretty
it's
tight,
very
and yeah,
tight.
the Screamer Killer. The Screamer Killer are by far the one reason to get that box is the Screamer Killer for me.
The chat is shouting some things in, but it's gone
But
now.
now this is what we knew was coming.
I've seen a lot of love for various things in there,
But
a lot of talk
now
about
it's
cannons,
this is all now what they're going to show us now for the next 30 minutes.
So that's
Now
all the
I'm
miniatures.
excited.
There is more in the box. We have the Leviathan book, so we're going to take a little bit of
Now
a
I'm
closer look
excited.
at that, and we have a video to tell us a bit more about what's going on with that book.
Let's go.
Oh, they'll drag it out with a bit of the core rules. Cool. I like the book. I like the cover. Surprise! Yeah, once they get rid of this bit, then yeah, it'll be teaser time and surprises.
The book that comes in the Leviathan box set is packed with background on the setting of Warhammer 40,000
It'll look good on my shelf.
and the various forces that fight across the galaxy. Inside, you'll find inspiring photographs of miniatures,
Quick, pause.
impressive artwork, along with the core rules of
See
the
if there's
game
any new things that we've
and
not
a
seen
narrative
before.
Crusade campaign based around the 4th Tyrannic War.
Cool. So as well as all the miniatures, you get all of this stuff in the box too. So you get your Leviathan book, which is closing on 400 pages.
Decals.
You've got some cards.
Look at those decals. It's multiple
and you've got
decals
the
for multiple
transfer.
chapters.
So, if we
Very
talk about
good.
the book first.
It's massive and heavy.
Yeah.
There you go. That is my official summation.
As you expect, there's loads of background in there. It's got a little bit of an update on what's going on in the galaxy, all of the usual kind of setting stuff, so give you an overview of the various different factions that are fighting. The core rules in there are quite interestingly done because they've got their own page numbers, and what that means is...
That just threw me, actually.
Yeah, what that means basically is that wherever you get your core rules, whether you're going to be downloading them for online or you get them in this book or separately in a different book, whenever we reference a page number, it will always be the same. So they're kind of broken out as a little separate thing.
They do that with
the
Age of
book
Sigmar.
itself, in this format, is going to be exclusive to this box. The contents in there will be available separately in different forms, so you'll be able to get the rules bit separately and the Crusade bit separately and all the other bits. But if you want it all together in one big book with the lovely Leviathan cover, the only way to get that is in this box, and that's also where you get all that.
Gonna have to buy this box, aren't I?
392 pages, hardback. It's got a nice black ribbon.
I like that
it is
Terminator cover.
Exploding with lore and rules and awesome material, which you will want for your enjoyment and games.
Do you want to tell us about the transfer sheet, Adam?
I
love transfer sheets.
It's true, it's a bit nerdy, but I immediately squirreled the transfer sheet as soon as Eddie opened the box. I've got the stats on the transfer sheets as well, for those of you who are listening. There are 849 separate decals on this sheet. Some of them are really, really tiny. And it covers, can you see on, no, it's not on the screen. You'll just have to trust me. It covers loads of different chapters. So you've got Ultramarines, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, as you would expect. You've got the Raven Guard in there as well. There's Imperial Fists, and then you've got all of the numbers and...
No salamanders?
I never throw away a transfer sheet. I've got
no salamanders?
And honestly...
Oh my God!
...favourite yet. The Imperial Fist transfers are really, really cool in it as
well. I'm gonna skip.
All those
no! So much 40k coming.
Got lots of little...
Lots of 40k. I can't believe there's no salamanders on the decal sheet. What? No salamanders?
As well as that...
salamanders just been burnt.
The new mission cards. So this box comes with the full set of mission cards. Which
Titanicus and Epic. Ooh, nice.
Yesterday. This is basically how you generate games. If you don't want to play either a Crusade game or the default mission out of the box, you can generate match play games basically with this deck of cards.
I also love how the backs look like something straight out of the Imperium. I don't know what.
That's kind of that's a nice little touch. I like that. I like that nice little touch.
Weird. The wrong person holds them and they're in trouble. But you get to hold them and play a game.
Yeah. So the other thing about this box is that it tells a story about what's happening in a particular planet somewhere in the Imperium. So we're just going to jump now to another video with the Warhammer Studio to tell us a bit more about what's going on in the story.
They're not going to show anything else. They might show us a teaser.
Is packed full of exciting new Space Marine and Tyranid miniatures that will tell a great story. The contents of the Leviathan box are telling a story that's probably typical of any number of war zones across the Bastior subsector, which is the region of space the north lot of the battles and the early parts of the Fourth Tyrannic War take place in. We can see a number of different Tyranid creatures, including assimilator beasts, eater beasts, creatures that typically only turn up towards the latter stages of a planetary invasion. The Space Marines have turned up with their own deep-striking, teleporting First Company strike force to disrupt and destabilise Tyranid assault. This planet's probably already doomed, but if the Space Marines can effect victory, they can destabilise Tyranids, they can drain the hive mind of biomass, they can force it to expend and waste resources, which is something that the hive mind never wants to do when it's conducting its invasions. If the Space Marines can't achieve victory here, it'll spell doom not only for this world, but also for the Imperial armies trying to gather themselves and prepare for fresh waves of Tyranid assaults. The Space Marine Strike Force includes a number of First Company squads and characters. We've got a Stern Guard veteran squad who are equipped with a variety of different bolt rifles with specialist ammunition and combi weapons so they can be targeting different Tyranid creatures and be sure of success. There's a Space Marine Terminator squad equipped with storm bolters, power fists and an assault cannon who are capable of mowing down many times.
I'm very disappointed the assault cannon didn't have the jump rule.
The strike force is led by a captain and a librarian in Terminator armour, allowing them to go toe-to-toe with enormous Tyranid monstrosities. And a ballistus dreadnought equipped with las cannons and missile launchers capable of taking out armoured organisms like a Carnifex. My favourite model in the box, and perhaps the most important member, is the Primaris Lieutenant, a representative of a previous expedition to this planet being recovered by this Space Marine Strike Force. So he is covered in trophies and improvised armour of defeated Tyranid creatures as he is fighting behind enemy lines for quite some time. If you prefer the idea of destroying, consuming the Imperium rather than fighting in its defence, the new Tyranid army in the Leviathan box...
This is the one thing that annoys me about the previews, is they now just regurgitate the information they've already told us.
Far more psychic creature than the existing Hive Tyrant, just as commanding, a little bit less combative, but a force magnifier with a shadow in the warp that precedes all the Tyranid invasions. The Neuro Tyrant is backed up by a winged Tyranid Prime as a bit of an enforcer, capable of flying in and dealing with any pesky Terminators that would threaten the Synapse creature in charge of the swarm. And there are some bigger creatures. The Psycho
Still have 25 minutes.
Do we have an assimilator beast capable of consuming any biomass on the planet,
25 minutes to go.
kicking out all sorts of corrosive spores, but has a particular taste for psychic creatures, just like the Librarian and Terminator are.
But they said an
And the
hour-ish.
Screamer Killer is perhaps the most iconic and recognisable
I really
representative
like
of
that
the Tyranid
model.
hive mind in this collection. A wonderful update to a classic
Really like
design.
it. Right, you've got the box done, and we know you've already told us twice now what's in it. Move on to the next thing.
Yeah, so a little bit more there about the background of the lore, about what's going on in this box. One of the things that does come in the Leviathan book is an entire Crusade supplement for Warhammer 40,000, which deals with the Fourth Tyrannic War. So if you're a narrative player, and that's how you like to play your games, you have an entire Crusade in there, basically, which you can play with either...
Match play is the only play, baby.
Or any army that wants to join in with the 4th Tyrannic War can take part as well. And in the narrative...
I always want to play narrative. I've always wanted to play like a Crusade or a Path to Glory, but all my mates are like tournament players. So that's kind of the only thing that we ever play. It's just constant prep for the next tournament.
You can, essentially, you and a friend can really start diving into an awesome narrative experience. The Ultramarines have a long history of battling, the Tyranid invasions, and it's a chance to really jump into some cool storytelling with your games, right out of the box. It's really cool.
So we will be bringing out the Crusade element of the Leviathan book separately. So if you don't want to pick the Leviathan book up, if you wanted to just get the rules separately somehow, you can still join in with the narrative through the Crusade expansion. And that's basically how Crusade rules in the new edition will be delivered. Rather than being in your codexes, the narrative and narrative gaming will come out together as campaign supplements. So if you want to follow the big narrative beats of the edition, you can do it that way.
Hopefully they do that with 4th edition.
Awesome.
Obviously, it's got some glorious new artwork in it, so we've got a little bit of a teaser about some of the things that you can see. There's all the campaign books these days are full of absolutely glorious bits of art.
That's Custody Guard fighting Tyranids.
Look and feel of what it's like to face the horror of High Fleet Leviathan in the 4th Tyrannic War.
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about the grim darkness of the 41st millennium and how, doomed humanity is and a galaxy totally at war. But I think the bottom left picture really sums that up for me. A very forlorn-looking guardsman, just as the horrors of the universe unfold around him.
There's like a living tide of Tyranids about to consume him. He's got his lasgun and he's like...
Worst job ever.
This is going to be expensive. You're talking about 140,
if you want to read along
150 quid for this box.
Leviathan as well, we will be bringing out a novel for you Black Library fans out there, which is called Leviathan. So nice and easy to remember. By Darius Hinks, and this tells the story of the Ultramarines' first company in a particular battle against...
Won't be buying that, because the last time I bought one of these novels at launch, it was the Dark Imperium, and then they retconned the shit out of it with the Dawn of Fire books.
Alongside this box, we've talked a little bit about them already, but just to give you the full spread, here are the index cards that will be released alongside or very soon after the box of Leviathan. And you can see you've got 28 different decks of index cards, which are available for all the current factions in Warhammer 40,000 effectively. These will be available as cards, which are really convenient. You can kind of have them in front of you and lay them down in front of you for your games. If you want to, though, you can also download these from the internet for free.
So basically, as soon as you get your hands on the Leviathan box, grab yourself some index cards and you can start playing and using your army, whatever.
Use your existing army, start playing with them.
Cool.
Okay. We've got one last bit of Warhammer 40,000 news to share with you today. We're basically going to give you the roadmap for the first year of releases for Warhammer 40,000. So no pitch. Ooh.
People like maps.
They like maps. So just in case you didn't believe us that there'll be some stuff following the Leviathan box, here is what is coming in the first year of Warhammer 40,000. So we've got, for summer 2023, you have the Leviathan box, of course, with the core book in it, which is also available separately.
Dark Angels
which is also available separately, and the chapter-approved mission deck, which is also available separately, and all of the index cards you need to play. And then, in a surprise to nobody, the first 2 codexes of the new edition will be Tyranids and Space Marines, and they will be with us in autumn of 2023. And
you'd have got the lowest odds ever on that, but you would have won the bet.
It's true, it's true. And then before the end of the year, we will also have a new codex for Adeptus Mechanicus and for Codex Necrons. And then in the first few months of 2024, we will have an absolute smorgasbord of codexes, including Dark Angels, Orcs, Adeptus Custodes, Tau Empire, and Chaos Space Marines.
Dark Angels are supposed to get a full refresh, or like a Black Templar type refresh. So it's going to be an interesting release.
All of those codexes is that all of them will come with at least some new miniatures.
If you put a pin right now down, this could be the best year ever for Dark Angels then, couldn't it?
It could be.
Man, I can't wait. Awesome. Right. Where does that leave us?
That brings us to the end of the Warhammer 40,000 preview.
Oh, really?
That's been very cool. Have you got anything you're most excited about there, Adam?
Terminators Stone.
Wow.
miniatures.
I honestly thought they'd show more.
I'm super hyped for a new.
See,
era
this
of
is what always
Warhammer
happens. You
gaming,
watch them and you get hyped, and then
I know we'll talk more
they
about that
kind
in the
of
coming,
just pull the
days
rug
and
out from
months.
underneath you and leave you with blue balls.
It's not even a month. This coming period of time, and a chance to sort of get my armies out and use them fresh again. My Tyranids have sat on a shelf for more than a year and not being used. It's a chance to get those out and refresh.
So looking at this, I'm going to have to focus on playing Space Marines until the World Eaters get my Codex, which is really annoying that my Codex for World Eaters is lasted a handful of months.
I've got
really,
3,000 points
really
of
annoying.
at home, so I think
But oh well.
I might dust those off and bring them back to the battlefield.
For everything you've got in your army battle against my dark.
Could be.
Sold.
Could be.
Right.
Right. If,
Oh, it was nearly, yes. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to say goodbye to the very excellent people who've joined us in the Twitch stream. Right now, 36,700 people watching concurrently. Thank you for spending your time with us. It has been a delight to have you, and we can't wait for you to tune into more previews across Warhammer Fest.
Age of Sigmar
Don't
tomorrow,
step away
I'll
from the
be
computers if
live
you're
just
with us
before
on
12
Twitch.
o'clock.
There's going to be streamed gaming throughout the event. There is just like 100 meters through that way, an enormous events hall packed with more gaming tables than I think I've ever seen in one place. Kill Team, Warcry, Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, just everything you could hope to see, all going off all at once, and it looks amazing. And they'll be streaming games throughout the weekend when they're not streaming previews.
That's true. So yeah, thanks ever so much for joining us on Twitch. We will say bye to you now. So bye everybody.
Take care.
Everyone else
Thank
will
you
say
for
bye as
joining
well
us.
if you want. Bye. Bye.
Is that it? That is it. That is it, people. That is all they've given us. That is all they've given us. Wow. Well, that's a little bit expected. Like, expected. There is a lot of cool things, articles up on the stream, up on the article page. Warhammer community. Well, I'll go through them on Tuesday night for Tuesday's stream, where we'll sort of have a look back, and I'll be doing a video on tomorrow for Monday night about everything else that's sort of coming out and talking. Yeah, it's we knew we would see Leviathan. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't tease us a little bit with future releases. They give us the roadmap, which is cool, but maybe a teaser video showing a little bit of a Necron and Adaptus Mechanicus, a teaser at the Dark Angel refresh. That would have been kind of nice. So it's a little bit, but as per usual, they like the blue ballers. So yeah, too many previews of the boxes. Yeah, the fact that they showed us it and then basically showed us it again with Wade telling us about the box is a little bit, but that's typical Games Workshop. So tomorrow's stream is going to be Age of Sigmar. Expect something very similar. They'll probably mainly focus on the orcs that are coming. The Cities of Sigmar will probably get a full reveal. Which is, if this is what they're going to be doing for the whole weekend, it doesn't bode well for tomorrow afternoon with the Horus Heresy and the Old World. The Horus Heresy is probably not going to get as much as we hoped, and the Old World, yeah. So it's going to be an interesting. I was quite hyped for tomorrow, but after just now, I'm a bit like, ooh, okay, maybe not. I was hoping for more info on the indexes. I'm actually hoping that they do sell index books straight away. Now I know we can download the cards, and that'll be cool. But I'm not a big fan of downloading stuff. I don't like using my phone, and I don't really want to like print them out on pieces of paper. I'd rather they just have like. I have no problem with giving Games Workshop money if they give me a box of cards that I can use in my games. Personally, I think World Eater and Imperial Guard players should be able to show their codex that they've bought from a retailer with their code in the back and be able to be given and sent a set of cards, because we've literally had our codexes for like a handful of months. I've used my army once since getting my book. I'm still, that shelf there, that top shelf, that is full of World Eaters. It's slowly building up. So it's a little bit of annoying that, you know, that's happening. But in a way it could be good because the edition could be good. But yeah, but for World Eaters, if like we are getting new things, there's going to be Juggernaut cavalry unit with berserkers riding them. I've heard things about new Terminators, which is going to be annoying because I'm building 2 boxes of Terminators and painting them up now. But hey, hey-ho. But yeah, that was a bit lackluster. The box is impressive. It is kind of impressive. I will be getting the box. One, because I want the Screamer Killer. I want to paint that model up. I think that would be a really cool model to paint up on live stream. There's plenty of things in there to do painting tutorials on. Different high fleets. I can do all of those gaunts. Hunter Killer, I could do a nice video on him. But as per usual, I don't get sent things from Games Workshop, so I'm going to be a week to 2 weeks behind everybody else. So, you know, there's a lot of content I can make off the back of that box. So yeah, I will have to do that, unfortunately. But yeah, it's what was your highlight for the box? Molly obviously likes the Screamer Killer and the Stern Guard. Screamer Killer is good. The Stern Guard are nice. I do like them. I wonder if there's actual pictures of the full Stern Guard. We get these. They have given us some new pictures of the Terminator. The Terminator Captain is nice. He is pretty cool. The Librarian we've seen. The Phobos Lieutenant we've seen. The Apothecary is interesting. He's interesting. The Terminators we've already seen. They're really, really cool. And I'm liking the Stern Guard. Yeah, the Stern Guard are pretty awesome. They are pretty cool. And these guys. Pretty cool. And the data sheet for the Infernus. So their Infernus weapon ignores cover and is torrent. It's only 12-inch range. And D6 attacks. No ballistic skill because it auto hits. Strength 5, no AP, 1 damage. In your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, you can select one enemy infantry unit hit by one or more of these attacks made by the Pyroblast. The enemy must take a battle shock test. Okay. And then we got the big Dreadio. And the Dread is a beast. Like, toughness 10. Like, the frag launcher's 2d6, hitting on 3, strength 5. Or it can fire crack, which is 2 shots, hitting on 3, strength 10. Minus 2 AP, d6 damage. The las cannon, 2 shots, strength 12. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets a unit that is below half strength, you can reroll hits. Ooh, nice. Damage 1 to 4. How many wounds has it got? 12. So while this model has only 1 to 4 wounds remaining, each time this model makes an attack, subtract 1 from hit rolls. Okay, so we're getting like damage tables put back in, but not as egregious as they were. And it kicks you in the face. Cool. Well, it's pretty good that they're putting the rules up then. Let's have a look for the Screamer Killer. See what his profile is. So the Screamer Killer is going to be coming in at a whopping toughness 9 with a 2-up save. Doesn't have an invulnerable. It has an 18-inch biomass scream, which is assault and blast. D6 plus 3 attacks at strength 8, minus 2 AP, 1 damage. And its claws is 10 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 10, minus 2 AP, 3 damage 8. Ouch. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, select one unit hit by one or more of these attacks. That unit must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the test. Cool. What's this crazy thing? Oh, doesn't have the profile for him. Interesting. The Prime doesn't have the profile for the Prime. Oh wow, so they're only showing the profile for the for the Screamer Killer. Okay. Teasing us a little bit there. But I'm going to call it now. So thank you very much for joining me. It was really cool. Thank you. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. I will be back tomorrow at just before midday UK time for the Age of Sigmar preview. And then the way tomorrow's going to work is I'm going to do that stream, come offline, have a spot of lunch, and then I'll be jumping back on for around about just before 2 o'clock for the Horus Heresy. The Horus Heresy and Old World previews. Now, I can't put 2 streams up because the way YouTube does it, if you schedule one, you can't schedule another one for later that day. So I'll have to do the Age of Sigmar stream and then schedule it for when it comes on, and I'll be doing that. There'll be no DP Sundays tomorrow night because I'm obviously doing 3 streams over the course of the weekend. And then on Monday night, Monday's video is going to be a sort of like a roundup video of what we've been shown and everything else, and a little bit of speculation about what is to come for certain things. And then on Tuesday we'll do the Tuesday hobby roundup, and we'll talk a lot more about everything we've seen, because I'm not really going to be bothering with Kill Team because of what I'm working, so I'm not really going to see it until I get home. And then I'll cover that on Tuesday's hobby roundup stream, and then we'll be back to regular tutorials and everything else on Friday next week, where I will be finishing off the Crimson Fist video and having that edited and done Wednesday and Thursday, and then that'll be up at 6:30 Friday next week. So that's going to be cool. Other videos I've got planned, there's a few other couple of bits and pieces. I'm working on a multitude of different sort of company chapter colours for the Starhawks custom chapter project, and once I've got those 3 finished, I will finish those Marines, and then I will make a video, and in part 2 it will be talking about different colour combinations and why I've picked this and what my inspiration is for that, and then part 3 will be a tutorial on whichever one you guys, when you help me pick what they will be. And obviously this will build into the Leviathan box set when I get my hands on it and paint up the Space Marine side as my custom chapter, the Starhawks. So that'll be kind of cool. Although the one that I'm working on right now is this one. This is kind of cool idea. It's red around the torso. The shoulder pads are red. The helmet is black. The legs are black. The arms are black. And it has like a black Aquila, although I may do that as a silver Aquila just to sort of break up the black and red, and then it'll have codex, proper normal codex markings for the helmets, so white helmets for veterans, red helmets for sergeants. Veteran sergeant will have the white stripe, and I think that will look pretty cool. So I'm kind of leaning into this one, but I also do have this one, which is a blue and bone. And then obviously the one that anyone's seen on Instagram, which is the Sons of Horus and the Bone Scheme. But this one apparently looks a lot like Angels of Redemption, so that's hence the reason why there are multitude of testers being done for a potential my Starhawks custom chapter. So I am leaning heavily into this. The power pack will be black as well, so. But I think it's going to be kind of cool. Kind of inspired off the Emperor's Size, which is yellow in the middle. But I'll be pushing the red into the shoulder pads, which will be really good because my decals are here. So I have my decals here for the chapter symbol. I have 2 sets, more than enough decals for the entire army chapter. And then I'll be using squad markings. I found these. These are the Tomb Keepers. They were a chapter created for White Dwarf. It's all black, and they'll work really nicely with the red chapter symbols. And then I've obviously got like these type of chapter symbols for different markings and things. So it's all going to be cool. So really look forward to that. So yes, Age of Sigmar tomorrow lunchtime, then Horus Heresy, and the Old World tomorrow. So I'm going to love you and I'll leave you. Thank you very much for joining me. Molly, go and get some sleep. And thank you very much for joining me from Canada. Much appreciated. If you are new, smash that subscribe button, like this stream, drop a comment because the algorithm loves it, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any future content. The channel is growing amazingly. I'm like blown away by the speed that this is growing. The channel is already over 1,800 subscribers, which is cool. And it's gone up nearly nearly 400 subscribers since I come back at the beginning from Twitch at the beginning of the year in January, which is cool. My Instagram is about to hit 2,000 followers as well, which is nuts. So I'm pretty humbled, so thank you very much. I would love to try to get as close to 5,000 by the end of this year. I don't think that's going to happen, but hey, a boy can dream. And yeah, it's so cool. So thank you very much for that. And I will be doing a lot more content. There is a Crusader Kings, Age of a Game of Thrones mod video series being playing, and I'm also going to be looking to add Warhammer Total War 3 to the computer game side, and of course Space Marine 2 will definitely be getting a playthrough when that gets in. I need a new controller, and I'm thinking about maybe once my new controller arrives is recording some the original Space Marine game and recording a playthrough series for that, because it's fun content and it's kind of a nice little break from painting all the time, and it's Warhammer themed. But on that note, we're literally coming up to nearly an hour and a half, which is kind of nice. So I am going to call it there, and I will see you all tomorrow, 12 o'clock, for Age of Sigmar reveals. See you later, peeps. Bye-bye.